intro.
It does. It just get.
Welcome to Behind the Wrenches with Zach and Randy. As always, I'm your host, Zach Radowski. And with me, as always,
I'm Randy. I'm
There
here.
you go. You're here. Randy, I said in the last episode that we're going to read one email the beginning of every episode.
Okay. And
Okay.
we got another one?
That way. I got another email for
Okay.
us. We got one, just this one.
Okay.
This one email.
All
Pretty
right.
simple one. Get us started for today.
Yep.
Okay. Not like last time, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we'll get them other emails another day.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine. Hey,
flipping through them, yeah.
somebody's watching.
At least they're watching.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Like
All
and, like and
here's
subscribe.
Randy. How do you guys choose what kind of vehicle you're going to use for off-roading? There's so many different makes and models of truck and car out there. Why did you choose what you chose? And what is the reasoning behind it? Basically what the email says.
Well, I mean, you know.
You have a chassis truck, though.
I know. I have a chassis truck, but I also still have the very first truck I ever had. I still have
Yeah,
it.
you got your 79, 77.
Yeah, it was a 78 Ford F-150. It was on 35s, had 456 gears. It was my brother's truck, because my brother's 13 years older than me.
Okay.
So it was his truck, and when he got it, it was a beautiful truck. It was hand pinstripe by a guy named Sam Garboni in Bay City or someplace around there, because he signed the name. It was a beautiful truck, and then my brother beat on it for years, and then I ended up buying it from him. I was always a Ford guy, so that was and I love a 70s Ford truck. I would love to put that body on my chassis someday, but
that would be cool.
It's good right now for what it is. But like I said, I still have my truck. That's what started me with that was that truck. That had started me in four-wheeling right there, and I still have it. I mean, most of it.
They still have most of it left.
There's frames there and the front clip. That is all that is left from the original truck.
Yeah. I remember seeing it out in the field there, out behind your house.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I think it's number one. I think off-roading, when it comes to off-roading, mud bogging, whatever power sport you're into that involves the outdoors like that. I mean, I'm a Chevy guy as far as I'm a K5 Blazer guy. I love K5 Blazers. Mm-hmm. A lot of people like K5 Blazers. I like them because they're heavy in the ass.
Yeah.
That's the thing I noticed about my pickup truck. They're kind of ass light.
Yeah.
And
take the bed off, and
what's that?
Take the bed off, and they're even worse.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. No kidding. But I mean, I think it's whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that there's any rhyme or reason to what you off road or what you have, because you can make a mud bogger out of anything. I mean, look at those guys that years ago. Remember there was a guy that had a Monte Carlo on a K5 chassis.
Yep.
I don't think there's any one specific.
Well, I mean, where that came from. That was because the Monte Carlo was sitting there, and there was a chassis sitting there, a four-wheel drive chassis.
Right.
That's how that became. That's how most of the four-wheel drive cars get built. I mean, a lot of times it's like, well, I got this and I got that. Let's put it together.
Yeah.
Because neither one of them are worth nice. The frame's worth nothing, and the car's probably not worth.
Right. Yeah. Right. Let's combine them and have one big.
Yeah. We'll just have one big stupid. Right. But I'm going to take up less space. But
as far as it goes, as far as off-roading and mud trucks go, or whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's going to be one of the things where it's personal preference. It's
personal preference, but it's also what you can afford and what you can get your hands on, and what gets you the passion. That's the thing.
I think that's what it starts,
and it's just
passion.
any like you said, any sport, any motor sport, not even just off-roading and mud bogging and trail riding and stuff like that. Any motor sport that you do, that first vehicle is the one that's going to be the start of the passion for you of what you did, for what you do, what you want to do. I mean, because look how long you spent looking for your K5 Blazer just to find out it was.
Yeah, we're not going there.
It was,
Yeah, we're not talking about that Blazer.
It was awesome.
Okay, so
it was awesome.
You and I know the story, but so the story goes like this: when I was younger, just out of high school, I had a 1990 K5 Blazer, black. It was on 32s. Mm-hmm. It was actually from Oklahoma. It was traded into the dealership. The dealership didn't want it. I ended up buying it from them. On and on and on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And then later on, I ended up getting rid of it for a newer Silverado. And years later, okay, so that was, see, we're in 2026 already. So that was in 2006. Yeah, late 2005, early 2006.
20 years.
About 10 years ago, I went on a mission to find that blazer I sold, and I found it.
Yeah, you
And
did, and it's still in the area.
it's still in the area, but here's what killed me about it. And you try to not be, what do I want to say? Project what you feel the vehicle should be onto others. That's hard to do because someone might build something you look at and go, man, that's really dumb, or man, that's really cool, or whatever.
Yeah, it's you get it's how
but
it's
to
your
each their
it's
own.
whoever's vehicle it is. That's the way they built it.
Yes, teach their own. So I found that K5 Blazer, got a hold of the guy, and I'll tell you what, you got to be careful of this if you're buying vehicles or you're looking at vehicles. You got to be careful of this. And what my point is to it is this: is I found that Blazer, got a hold of the guy, went and looked at it. He turned that thing into something that I would have never built. He loved it, but it wasn't even my truck anymore when I found it. They cut the top off, they made it full convertible. They put it on 24-inch rims.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing, they ripped all the interior out. It was a gray interior truck. And they changed all the red seats, red dash, red instrument cluster. I mean, just short of a quick disconnect steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? It was just.
We just talked about red.
Yeah, I know. We are just talking about that last episode. But you know what? Since I found it, it had graphics on it, the big Chevy bow ties on it, and I'm just like, this is not my Blazer anymore.
No.
And it's hard to come to terms with. But here's what, and this is what I'm getting at though when I tell people to be careful, is that he knew I wanted it. And I looked at it, and what he didn't realize is that it was not built how I would build it.
Yeah.
And what I wasn't thinking about is that he built it like he wanted to.
Yeah.
But here's where the problem came in. Is I said, what do you want for it? And this is where people get to be just assholes. Because he said, well, what's nostalgia worth to you?
Yeah.
Well, who gives a shit at this point? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
My business side of me took over at that point. Like, how badly do I really need this?
Yeah.
And I asked myself, what do you want for it? He hit me at $20,000 on that Blazer.
Well, yeah, he was hoping to.
Yeah, he was hoping that my want to have it from when I was younger overrode my checkbook. And we debated on this truck we sat there and negotiated for probably a half hour. And I finally, I looked right at him. I said, listen, I'll give you 10 grand right now for it. I had cash. I went there with, a little under $13,000 in my pocket. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, how about 10? And then he came back and said, well, how about 18.5? And then I come up to 11. And finally, I looked right at him after probably 15, 20 minutes negotiating. I said, listen, man, all in, no bullshit. I got 12. I got from 12.8. I said, I got 12.8 in my pocket right now. Yeah. And he come down and says, okay, 14 and it's yours. Nope. And I walked. And that was the last time I ever seen that Blazer.
Yeah. Well, the worst thing is that and then that guy probably sold it for like 10.
I think he's still.
I think he's still sitting on it.
He still owns that Blazer.
I think it is.
Which is screw ups. I've never seen it at car shows or any of.
I've never seen. Well, no, it caught my eye the one time.
Yeah, you said you were coming through the town where it was at.
Yeah, and I was like, "Holy, that's the Blazer!"
Yeah, that's the Blazer.
But well, like I said, there was a whole bunch of TV shows in the mid 2000s where they were building cars. There was tons of these shows built.
Exhibit.
All sorts of stuff. He was just.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, Pimp My Ride.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
Pimp My Ride, but no, they weren't. They didn't really build. They just pimped them out. They didn't really build cars.
I don't know if they were doing.
They just put stuff on them.
Quick side thing on that one. I'll let you continue. Have you seen that there's people out there finding those cars now and buying them on purpose just to see what they actually were built like?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just seen something today about a minivan that was built on Pimp My Ride. It's just.
Yeah. Well, it's all for show. That was totally for show. But I mean, there was a bunch of those TV shows.
Yeah. Right.
In one of them, I'm not going to say the name of the show or anything like that, but they got into a loop, and every car was almost the same. Everything they built, it all had the same MO. They were like low, big wheels, low, big wheels, low, big wheels. And I was like, I don't like any of this thing. I don't like a single one of these. I says, and the guy that was calling the shots was building them how he wanted it.
Yeah.
And I go, I says, yes, there's guys out there that want that car. 100%. There is. There's somebody out there who wants that car. Somebody wants that Blazer just like it is.
Right.
But I don't. And I go,
Yeah.
I says, hey, why don't we come out of the box a little bit and try something a little different?
You know what though? I agree with that. I do. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Especially if you're doing it to sell.
But that's the thing though. So obviously, I mean, I buy and sell a lot of vehicles. I have
Yeah.
a dealer's license. I have a
Yeah,
shop,
yeah.
all that stuff. People don't like, in general, I'll say, people don't like different. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why J.C. Whitney's so popular. We talk about driving your Jeep through the J.C. Whitney catalog. But I mean, when I'm building a Wrangler, if I'm building a Wrangler for sale,
Yeah.
all I got to do is buy it, put 4-inch lift on it, 35-inch tires, fake beadlock wheels.
Yep.
The bumpers on Amazon were like $189.
Yeah, they're cheap. They're cheap. Well,
Yeah, go to Harbor Freight, buy a whole stack of light bars,
yeah,
and put them on, and people, and put the Badlands winch in it, and people go crazy for it.
yeah, they do. I mean, I know. Well, there is. There's a, like I said, there's that point where this is the thing. But the other thing is, like, we went to the Jeep truck show, last summer,
Yeah, last July. Yep.
and how many of the Jeeps were almost all the same?
They all look the same.
They all look the same. There was a few, there was a few that were really nice, some that were extremely nice.
Yeah.
And there was some that weren't. But it's like, they go, I don't want to be, I want it to stick out. I mean, that's just me. I want, even if I don't stick out, like, you lose me in a crowd.
Right.
I mean, I'm not tall, so that happens.
Yeah,
I've got a
right.
video of Zach walking around the swap meet, and I go, "Is that you?" And I sent it to him, and he's like,
"Yeah, Randy, where are you at?"
But so
well, shit, you got to put your Dune flag on you to wander around.
I know. Yeah,
there's Randy over there with the 10-foot flag over there.
But so I let it out in my vehicles, but I want the people to go, stop and take a picture of it. I don't want them to go stop and take a picture of it and then go, oh, I'm gonna get a picture of this one too because it's identical. I'm gonna get a picture of this one too because it's just like it.
Right.
And I go,
individuality is kind of lost in the car world.
It is. It's sure.
But
I mean,
I think there's two. Okay, I think we're talking about two separate things though here, and I've said this for a long time. Is if I build a rig to sell,
yeah,
it's gonna get every popular bolt-on piece you can imagine because people will buy that like it's like they think it's a great
but here's the thing. Even then, okay, you build one and it's like this. You're not going to build another one just like it, like it's an assembly line. It's going to be a little different.
It'll be a little bit different.
You're gonna, I mean, but like they were doing, like these shows were like, and that's kind of, I think, I kind of hurt a lot of why the shows went away and stuff like that. It was assembly line to the point.
Yeah,
it was like,
and
it was all that. If we don't do it, we're gonna lose the shop. That was my favorite one.
Right.
Freiberger and Finnegan. They're like, we don't do this, we're gonna lose the shop. And they're like, what shop? I mean, that's one of my favorite things. But it was like,
but like I said, from a resale standpoint,
yeah.
It's like Silverados. You get a Silverado, first thing you do, put a 4-inch lift on it, put some stupid Alcoa looking wheels on it or whatever they call it. They got the holes in them and all that crap. Yeah. The producer's wandering around scaring me.
No. Coming up, giving you bunny ears and stuff.
Rub my shoulders or something. My left shoulder is killing me.
Yeah.
But anyways. You slap some stupid aluminum wheels on it. They have the big holes in them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then some kid will lose it in his pants and come buy it from you.
Well, it goes back, you look at what your Jeep looks like and what Josh's Jeep looks like.
Yeah, they're pretty identical.
They're really close. They really are. And then you stick mine in the mix, and that was the whole reason why I was like, I like the look of my Jeep because I was like, it doesn't have the tube fenders. It doesn't, I was like, it's not black. I mean, your guys' Jeep.
When are you going to join the big boy club? Get at least 35s.
I don't know. Well, I started thinking about that, and I thought about it, and I was like, I'd have to re-gear again, and it works. It's working excellent right now.
Horsepower overrides gears, right?
I know, but I don't want to put a turbo on it.
I'd say you have turbo it.
Yeah. Well, I looked into supercharger. What I need to do is we need to find somebody.
You see how much a supercharger?
No, we're gonna get a 3D printer, and we're gonna make an intake and put a 3800 supercharger on it. So
mean,
I know there's a guy out there who's making intakes. If you want to send one for a 4 liter, it's a TJ 298.
98 TJ.
If you want to make one, and I will gladly try it out for you.
but I do like the individuality part of the offer. I mean, look at my truck. My truck's at 92 Chevy. And it ain't nothing special. I love the color of my truck. It's that
Well,
turquoise
at turquoise, I can remember when they were everywhere. They were everywhere.
They were, weren't they? But they got away from that color. Okay, all right. Time out for a second. When did we? At what year range did we hit a point to where cool colors and cars don't go hand in hand anymore?
We went like monochromatic colors
Okay,
again.
so but
Well,
it's not just cars; it's restaurants. Okay, let's look at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Every McDonald's out there is now drab, gray, dreary,
Yep.
and has depression.
Yep.
And the cars are the same way. You get like 3 colors: white, silver, black.
Well,
primer
here's the thing. Like I worked for Audis. I worked on Audis for years and worked for them. When I was a kid, or even when I worked on them, even was a kid too. There, if you saw an Audi, they were black or silver.
I believe, yeah, okay.
That was it. There was hardly any colors. It seemed like.
Well, the Germans don't have any.
Yeah,
they're pretty.
Nein, we got color.
Yeah, straight foot. 2 colors.
You choose color, black or silver.
Right. Yeah.
But my car's white, and that was one of the reasons why I took it. I was like, man, it's a white Audi. They're so rare, and then I see them everywhere. Now it's the worst thing. But
okay, I'm going to debunk a myth for you right now too, though.
what?
Did you know? This is a true story, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a true story.
The events have been changed to make it true.
I
Okay.
wasn't there for this, but okay, so you always heard the adage, Henry Ford was always famous for saying you have any color you want as long as it's black.
Yeah.
Did you know that they actually had like 3 different colors? You could get burgundy, black burgundy. What was there? Was one other color. I can't think of it. But
It's got to be a dark color.
Yeah, it's a dark color, but you could get a burgundy Model T.
Really?
Yes, they actually did offer a few different colors of it. So just so everyone knows out there, a little tidbit.
I learned an amazing. I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is. I haven't done a whole lot of background to it, but they were talking about Henry Ford. He's from Michigan,
Yeah.
Born and raised American, in what was his Chevy?
Louis Chevrolet.
Was it or? Yeah, was he from America or is he from?
No, he was French. Okay, Louis Chevrolet was French. He was a French race car driver.
Yeah.
And he got in bed with not Durant. I keep on saying William Durant.
It's not.
Right.
I know it starts with a D.
But anyways, the guy that started General Motors.
Yes.
But General Motors. Okay, so another quick little tidbit
Foreign
of information.
Cars.
General Motors was never a car manufacturer.
No.
They started as General Motors Incorporated. Buick, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Oldsmobile,
Well,
and they called it General Motors.
Yeah.
Because that was the umbrella that covered all these car companies.
Yeah.
But then it turned, obviously they have like Chevy and all that other stuff.
Well, I mean, that's just like the Audi. That was Auto Union is how that started,
Oh, no kidding.
and that was 4 manufacturers. Volkswagen owns all of them. now.
Audi has 4 rings.
Yes, that's the 4 manufacturers for the Audi rings. It was like it was Audi, like Stoke. Oh God, I can't think of. There's 2 others. Someone probably
Okay,
knows.
so that's why there's 4 rings.
Yeah, that's the 4 rings. That's where Audi came from, and it was Auto Union. Then they changed it to just Audi.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Same thing. I mean, I mean, it's like it's funny when you talk about car manufacturers and stuff like that, and you go, everybody's the big 3, and it's like the big 3 in America.
Right.
It's not the big 3 in the world.
Oh yeah. The big 3 only exist here in the United States.
It's Toyota, Volkswagen, and then maybe Chevrolet. I'm not sure.
I guess we'll have to look that up.
No, Toyota and Volkswagen swap back and forth, but Volkswagen's a huge company. Huge. That's why when they did the whole Dieselgate thing, they were just like, okay,
Yeah,
we just won't sell them to you. We don't care.
right.
I mean.
So back to what we're getting at with color schemes on these cars.
Yep.
Though. So back in the '90s, like my
Oh, yeah.
truck. Okay, my truck's that turquoise blue,
Hmm.
whatever color you want to
Yeah,
call
it's just
that.
it's turquoise.
It's
It's a
turquoise.
pretty truck, and
But it's a pretty truck, and we're oh, that's what we're talking. I forget. We got off on the
yeah,
left
with
field
a
and talking
tangent.
Henry Ford and stuff, but anyways,
Follow me down this hole, down
yeah,
this.
get me all excited here. I'm choking on my own. Anyways, okay, so but I mean the color combo of my truck was really awesome, and in those years you could get just some crazy
Well,
colors.
yeah.
In the late 2000s, we get that chameleon paint,
Yep.
factory paint
Yep.
jobs.
Well, in the year, what year is your truck? 92?
Thank you.
92.
Yeah.
So in 94 or 95, Adam's stepdad, Adam Crandall,
Yep.
bought a brand new one of those trucks, 2-wheel drive, but it had the running boards and it was canary yellow.
Factory canary yellow.
Factory canary. That thing looked like a French's mustard tub driving.
Okay, so
But I bet you it wasn't orange peel to death.
no, it was
Smooth.
It was smooth.
Yeah,
It was a
nice.
good, and I mean, I remember I was like, Adam, we turned 16. We drove that truck around a lot and stuff like that. We rode around in that truck a lot too when he got it. But I was just like, why'd you get yellow? I was like, my God, this is.
right, yeah.
I thought it was hideous.
Maybe he's a big skidoo guy.
Tony's not. I don't know what he's like. I don't know. But I was like a good deal. They talked him into it. I don't know.
Okay, so I found out something interesting years ago. Did you know? And I don't have anything to prove this, but I've heard this said and I've seen it. If you just start looking around online, different color schemes sell in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so at the farm we have Eric. He's got a 85, or I'm sorry, his is an 82 Silverado.
Yep.
Regular cab, long bed, 2-wheel drive, and it's a little street truck.
Yep.
But that thing came from Arizona, and it's 2-tone root beer brown and like sandstone tan or something.
Yeah.
And it's a color scheme I'd never seen around here. Well, come to find out, it was wildly popular.
Well, yeah. Well, when like to get the Super Duties, they had that Amarillo truck.
Oh, the Amarillo edition or whatever it was. Yeah.
And like Dodge had the Longhorn edition up here.
Okay.
And if you went down south, they had the Lone Star edition. But
I've seen Lone Star edition trucks.
They had both. They had the Lone Star.
King Ranch.
It was King Ranch. Yep. They had a Lone Star. Lone Star was up here and Longhorn was down south.
Is that what it was?
I've
seen
it's weird the way they do stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But but what I'm getting at is that today, and I think that's what bothers me, or bothers a lot of people, I should say, when it comes to vehicles today. Look at them. You get like 3 color choices.
Yeah.
Primer gray. Who the hell? Okay.
When it first came out,
primer gray only got because there was a whole bunch of hot rodders out there that primered their truck that didn't know how to shoot paint, and they said that is the color right there.
Well, we had the first when Audi showed up. It was a RS6 or something. I don't remember, and it showed up in that gunmetal gray like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked good because it was unusual on that car.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's really common. It's one of those things,
everyone seems to have that color nowadays.
But I mean, like if you go back and like look at a picture of, not that there's malls anymore, but you go back and look at a picture of a mall like circa 1990s, and like there's red, blue, orange, green, all these different colors. And now you look and there's like, there's a white one, there's a black one, there's a gray one, there's a blue, blue. Like my Super Duty.
Yeah, that's a pretty blue.
Yeah, I really, I was like coming back yesterday with that, and I was like, I got mad because it's got salt on it, and I get pissed about that. I do. I like, and it's like for me, it's funny because
I get it.
My dad used to tease me all the time. He says, "Man, you're never gonna wash another you own because I'm always playing in the mud." And I'm like, that truck. I'm like, no, it doesn't. I get the salt off it as soon as possible because it's a pretty blue.
Yeah, that's why I don't drive my Dually. I got a 2011 F350 Super Duty Dually.
Yeah.
And that's that pearlescent white.
Yeah.
Which sucks because the truck's starting to get rusty.
That's the only downside with the white is that it really sticks up.
I didn't want white. That was the thing. I wanted a different color, but I'll tell you what, I searched high and low for that Dually. And when I bought it, it was the only one I found in a 300-mile radius for a fair price.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and I was like, it's fucking white.
Well, it's really close to your first Dually was burgundy, wasn't it?
It was red.
Red.
Yep, it was red. So I had.
I never seen it except in pictures.
Yeah, I had a white suit. I had a white.
Yeah,
suit.
the
That
white
was
one is the one that got hit.
Yeah, I
wasn't
got
it?
hit by a drunk driver.
Yeah.
Yep, that was that one.
Sitting in a parking
Yeah,
lot.
sitting in a parking lot, got hit by a drunk driver. That was the best part of
Yeah,
that.
they totaled that one.
Yep, total. That's a bitch hard.
Yeah,
But I'll tell you what. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
I could go into that story a little bit, but you know what? It ain't worth it. It just pains my heart to even tell that
Yeah.
story. So
Well, that's like I said yesterday. I was driving back, and I'm like, man, the truck's got salt on it. I hate it because it's that
it's a
what I can't remember what that blue's called.
B5 blue.
No, it's something special. It is a special blue because it's really sharp.
It's not a midnight blue.
No, because it's uh, I'd have to look. I
I'll have
don't
to look up what the actual color.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual, but it's that really bright blue.
But that's what I'm getting at, though, is that there is no color anymore to these vehicles. But you know what, though, I guess maybe we've just reached that age where everyone's depressed.
Yeah.
Everyone's on Zoloft.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they take their primer gray
Mm.
fucking Acadia
Yeah.
and drive it to primer gray McDonald's.
yeah,
They pay $27 for a hamburger.
yeah. I got my double cheeseburger and a Coke, and I spent $47.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I was depressed too when you find out how much it costs, and you're like, oh man.
right. How much of our depression has gotten to us, and even our cars nowadays.
Yeah, they're like, everybody likes this color. You
Yeah,
know?
that's right.
I mean, my other dually was gray, and that was a sharp truck. You know,
Yeah, it was a sharp truck.
I can't remember what that gray was called.
I'm gonna start badging though. I'm gonna start badging all my trucks and just be crazy, just like my '92 Chevy.
Yeah.
Big graphics down the
Yeah.
side of it. Like I said, what happened to that stuff? Do you remember the early '90s? You get a Chevy pickup that had graphics all over. Like
Yeah.
graphics was the thing.
Yep.
On every one of them.
Well, you could get a thing that went around your key, the lock, where the lock goes.
Yeah.
You know these vehicles don't have it.
Yeah, they don't.
And because everything's remote now, but the door handles with an emblem on it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
But
Yeah.
it feels like the pride has gone away. Like people just don't give a shit about cars no more. But I can actually prove that though, because I was talking to an engineer for was he in Toyota? They do it works for next year, but they work with Toyota and Ford and all.
Yeah,
those
because
companies,
they
not
work
one
with a lot.
specific.
Yeah, they work with a lot of people.
But he was telling me that they have found out that in the last 15 years ish, that no one cares what's under the hood anymore. All they care about is what features it has.
Yeah.
They don't care about anything.
Well,
They don't
yeah.
care if it's 400 horse or 200 horse. All they care is does my phone connect to it? Does it have
Yeah.
GPS? Will it, massage my nuts while I'm driving down the
Yeah,
road?
it's got a
That's
seat
all they
heater,
care about.
a clam cooker. It's
Yeah, right.
for the girls.
Right. That's exactly. That's all that anyone cares about anymore.
I mean, that's why, the German car started a long time ago with the engine covers, cover the whole engine.
Yeah.
And it was just, this is the engine displacement. This is what it is. Here's a symbol. And they did it years ago. And then everyone's like, oh, let's do that. And then you pop the hood and you're like, you can't see anything. Yeah, it's all plastic. It covered everything up.
Yeah, we don't want to see. You don't even want to know what's under the
You don't want to know that there's a mouse on there.
right. Yeah. That's where they all live too, is in the plastic part.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to what we're talking about though, in this whole grand scheme of things, it's gotten to the point where you have to be, if you want your car to stand out, or you want to be individual, you really got to take it upon yourself to do that.
Yeah.
You can't buy cars anymore that have their own.
I mean, you can to a
I
point.
guess you could.
You can to a point, but it's not like, like you can't go buy something reasonable that's going to be not white, gray, black.
Right.
Really?
You don't even see red that much anymore.
No, red kind of went away.
Yep,
Red,
went away.
I've never been a big fan of red on a vehicle because
I
they always,
haven't either. But
it always seems to be, I had that, I did, that fire engine red Lincoln I had. Now that was a primo.
that was a cool car.
That was a primo piece of garbage.
Yeah.
But that kid fell in love with that thing. But but
That was a great car. I remember that car.
Yeah.
That was a good
the
car.
guy's like, I just rebuilt it, and I said, you did?
77,
Yeah, something like that. It was like,
76, 77.
yeah, push. It had so many stupid luxury things that didn't work on it because it was too modern for being too old.
Right. Yeah.
And
right.
So the story of that car goes, I took it in a trade for helping a buddy of ours. And he's like, the guy told me I just rebuilt this thing. And I'm like, I popped the hood and I'm like, yeah, he spray painted the heads.
Was it a 460 car?
No, that was a 302 car because it was end of the era of big blocks.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, it was a horrible pig. It was red
The
with
nose was 8 feet
Yep.
long.
it was
Yeah.
bright fire engine red and had a white vinyl top on it. And I took it to him because he got it in some deal, and I was just like, he didn't have any money. I was like, well, here, I'll take the car, I'll sell it. And I put it up for sale, and I feel bad for the kid still, I do. He was like 15 years old. His dad pulled up, he got out, and he's like, I want to buy it. And I was like, he's like, I got all my lunch money saved up. And he gave me, I think, $500. The kid didn't even have a license. So I get in this car, and the kid's like, whatever, taking
What
for a
year
ride.
was this? This was like 2003.
Yes.
You should find that kid.
Oh, I don't, yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe he was the one that wrote the email the last.
Yeah, he might have been.
You go fuck yourself. Yeah,
It's like, I've been
bought a
looking for you.
1977 Lincoln from you one time.
And if you bought it, I'm really sorry. I mean, this kid, he bought it, and he, to the point he was so excited, he went to the parts store and he bought plugs and wires. He was going to do a tune-up and all this stuff. And we take off, and we're driving across town in Bay City. I got to go across the bridge. And for some reason, it won't upshift. It's in first gear all the way through town. And I'm like revving on, I'm flooring it, and I'm letting off, hoping it'll just upshift. And the kid's just, man, this thing's powerful. He's just, I mean, you couldn't get his smile any bigger on his
You know
face.
what's no good for you? It was $500.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
we turned the corner to go across the bridge, and the radiator sprung a leak.
I thought we fixed that.
We did, but it stuck another leak on after that.
As it was leaking, we walked in with a pair of pliers.
Yeah, we started fixing because it was a $500 car. Well, my dad's following me because I was like, I told my dad, I says, you need to come pick me up because I'm not riding back.
We
These
drove
people.
to the kid's house for him.
Yes, I drove it to his house.
Okay.
And we turned the corner, and I didn't know it, but the radiator was spewing coolant like this as we're turning the corner. And I get over the bridge, and he's like, just park it over here. And I park over here, and here's the keys, here's title. There you go. Have a good day. And my dad slides up in his truck, and he goes, get in. And I'm like, what's up? He says, get in the truck now. We got to get out of here. And I'm like, what's going on? He says, he said, you turned the corner. He said, I could see the radiator shooting coolant. He said, we got to get out of here, but this thing blows up, and we're stuck with it. I need it out of my yard. Is all he was worried about.
That's great.
Yep. Yeah. And then it sat by the house because it was right over by Chucky's Market.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It was right. It sat there, and I don't think it ever moved. And then one day it was just gone. Like they were like, get rid of this thing. Just get rid of it.
Oh, God. But okay, so like I said, we got a lot of stories about obviously buying and selling cars, things we've owned.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, we have owned. What was the statistic I read recently? I'm sure you've seen this.
Oh, yeah.
The average person owns
10.
7.
8 or 10 cars.
Is it 8 or 10 cars
Yeah.
in their lifetime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I own that a year.
I own that. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I have that plate. We said that.
Listen, okay, hold on. We're going to talk to everyone. If you own, or one of the people that's going to only own 7 to 10 cars in your lifetime, okay,
You're
you need
probably
to
not
up those
watching
numbers,
this.
all right? Because
Yeah. You need to bump those numbers
yeah,
up.
bump those numbers way up.
Only have one car
Yes,
at a time.
life's too short for to only have one car at a time, and life's too short to drive boring cars. Just remember that.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, it's about smiles per mile, not miles
Yes.
per gallon.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're not having a good time driving it, you're not.
Okay, you know what though? I'm glad we said that because it just made me think of something. We had a guy ask us at the beginning of the show. We talked about the guy says, "How do you choose your cars? How do you, what are you going to buy? Stuff like
Yeah.
that." Okay. Here's how I judge vehicles that I buy. If you buy a car or jump in a car and drive it, and you cannot stop smiling while you're driving it,
Oh, it's even
Keep it.
worse. That's worse.
buy that. son
That's
of a
the
gun.
worst car to find because that's the car you're going to sink a lot of money into.
Yeah, because there's been a few cars I got, and you're like, I'm just so happy. You're
Yeah,
driving,
well,
you're just
like I
just
said,
excited.
Before Cash for Clunkers and all this stuff and everything like that, because, I'm a few years older than you.
Yeah.
When I turned 16, it was not uncommon to spend a couple $100s on a car for the weekend.
Right.
The weekend. And drive, dude, I'm not kidding. I'm not bullshitting coming up here to go four-wheeling on the trails with anything that we had. And not four-wheeling, just out in the woods with it.
Whatever you had.
Whatever we had. I remember sideswiping guardrails and over bridges and passing people where you shouldn't and kicking doors open so they'd slam shut on trees. Just that kind of stupid stuff. I mean,
That's the fun part.
that's the
though.
great part.
That
It
is
really
the fun
sucks you
part.
can't do that because things are kind of more expensive. You can't. I mean, you can still get a $500 car, and it's you could do that.
Yeah, they don't run for $500 anymore.
That's
So
the problem. I mean, we could buy a car for a couple $100. This was way before Cash for Clunkers. This was early. This was the late '90s.
yeah,
Late
oh yeah, I
90s.
was, yeah, I know.
You know,
I'm familiar
and
with the
like,
time frame.
so I mean, I don't know how many cars just destroyed over a weekend.
Well, you know what though? Okay, so I've been in business for going on 9 or 10 years, whatever it's been already. Yeah, now I'm getting to build a new shop. But you know what? That's in case if anyone ever asks, if I ever became an overnight success, the answer is yes. It just took me 10 years to do it.
Yeah.
So, but
I
anyways,
was very successful. It just took this long to get here.
right, it just took 10 years to do it. Don't give up on your dreams.
Yep.
All that
Beefcake.
fun bullshit. But anyways,
Beefcake.
when I first started buying cars, because I had my dealer's license right out the gate, which I still have, is that I could buy a repo car for $350
Oh.
that ran.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you when I owned my other property, that 6 acres down the road, how many cars I bought that took down there and just
Yeah.
beat the ever-loving snot out of them. We come out of there one time, the whole front bumper's missing.
Yeah.
Although I would. Okay, so another tech tip for the young guys out there. If you're going to buy a junker car to take out the woods and beat up, okay?
Yeah.
By God, pull the airbag fuses.
That helps.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big thing they didn't have. Yep.
Just so you know, if
Yep.
you think you're going to do something dumb, you pull the airbag fuse
Yeah.
out of that. You don't want that something.
No, you don't want it going off
your
in your face.
at 5 miles an hour into a tree.
Yeah.
Right? Don't ask me how I
Well,
know that.
it's funny you say that about the property down there. I was going through my camera roll the other day because there was some guy had posted on one of the Facebook pages I'm on about show your first mud bogger, and I was like, I still got a picture of the, it's the blue truck now, but it was brown back then, but on 44s, and I was like, I'm gonna post that, and I was trying to find it, and I found a picture of I believe a Blazer stuck down there, an S10 Blazer that we had got stuck down there.
I forgot about that. We
You
took
know.
it through the woods and buried it.
Yeah, and like kind of like, I guess this is staying here for a
We
while.
just left it.
Yeah,
We
walk
put it
back.
out and left it there.
I
I forgot about that.
I mean, but that's
You know
the
how we
main
ended up
thing.
getting that Blazer out of there? Just it happened to be the excavator was down there from
Yeah.
the farm, so we had to go get it with the excavator
Yeah,
and
well,
drag it out. Yeah, I miss those days.
Well,
I
that's
really
like I said,
do.
that's the thing that gets you into this, and that's what these kids need to do. These kids need to go and just buy some and go test how good you can drive.
Yeah.
Really, because I mean, if you can, I was thinking about this because we were coming up here. I was coming up here, and I assume they had the rally cross just went on.
That gambler or what?
No, the actual rally cross. I can't think of the name of it right
This is
now.
one they do up in northern Michigan.
Yeah,
right?
this one Travis Pastrana crashed a car into a deer.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the name of it. It's slipping my mind right now. But we ran into a guy years ago about that, and he was into that, and he was racing a Cavalier.
Oh yeah.
And then we asked why. He says because I can go to the parts store and get parts for it to
Oh, I
keep
can see
racing.
that.
And that's what you need to go out, go destroy something, do it.
Well, fun.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to build a little dirt circle track and just race Cavaliers or
Yeah, we
Berettas
did that.
around.
We did that at Josh's uncle's for a few years. I
Right.
mean,
Problem is, like I said, those cars are gone now.
yeah.
They're gone. They're not
Well,
available.
Cash for Clunkers took a lot of vehicles out of the market.
Cash flow did a lot of
That really hurt a lot of people. I mean,
But-
that's a whole
But I'll
other
tell you what. So this is where we'll end out today then. So basically, back to what we talked about in the very beginning. How do you pick your vehicle? How do you, determine what you're going to buy, what you're going to build, all the other stuff? You don't. I think it finds you. I think you're going to buy something, or you're going to remember something from your childhood.
Yeah.
Dad had this, Grandpa had this,
Yeah.
whoever had this. I want to buy that. I want to make it my own.
Yeah.
I want to be individual about it. I'm not going to cookie cutter my car and make it look like 10 other ones next to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something different.
Yep.
Something I want to do that says this is mine.
Yeah.
Because vehicles are an extension of yourself. It used to be that way, and I think we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
This is
They're
my
not just
vehicle. How do you know it's
transportation.
yours? It's just like your truck and my truck. If you take one look at my truck, my 92 Chevy that's
Mhm.
listed on 44s, everybody knows that's my truck.
Yeah.
Like there is no question about
Mhm.
it. Like that is Zach's truck.
Yep.
You know, your truck, same way. That is Randy's truck.
Yeah.
You know, we know it's Randy's truck. That is his personality. That's who he is.
Yeah.
And I think more people need to get back to that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to say. I don't care. You don't have to be brand loyal to anything. I mean, if you want to be, fine.
Yeah.
But you know what? It doesn't hurt to venture out. Buy a Ford, buy a Dodge, buy a Chevy, buy a GMC, buy an Audi, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Yeah, if you can get it cheap enough and have a good time with it,
Right.
that's the
And
main
what's
thing.
the worst you could? I've also said this for years too. And another tidbit of information for people out there listening to us.
A Zach note.
Huh?
A Zach note.
Welcome to Zach's Note Corner. Today's tech tip, but is what's cool about buying a whole bunch of different stuff is you can find the stuff you don't like.
Yeah.
So you might. I mean, I buy and sell through with one guy,
Mhm.
right anywhere from 160 to 200 cars a year.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the cars that I don't like and would never own versus the ones I would buy, whether it's car, truck, Audi, Volkswagen, Passat, Renault, wagon. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter. You know, and I think more people need to do that. You know, go out, explore all the brands, find which one's best for you.
Yeah.
So that's my Zach tip for the day. So,
All right.
Randy, got any Randy tips for the day before we go?
Or is there anything else we want to go over? Is there something coming down the pipeline
There is. We have
that we
one- okay.
might be that might get some people interested?
Okay, so
We
I've
don't-
been kicking around and
we
I've
just-
looked into it, and we have some big news coming up in the next probably one or two podcasts we do. I got some big
Yeah.
news for the shop and big news for everyone at home. For our subscribers and everyone out there, I got something big coming for all of them.
Yeah.
That everyone
I think
can
this is
join
going to
in
be
on.
really cool. I hope everybody, you know, I hope everyone gets involved in it. I mean, you know, whatever.
Participates. Let's
Yeah.
hope everyone participates in it.
Yeah.
I think people are going to get a kick out of what we got coming. It'll be this summer. We'll get it done.
Yeah.
So, but outside of that, stay tuned, like, subscribe, and share. And probably the next couple of videos will reveal what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then I think someone's going to be very pleasantly surprised by
I
what
hope
we're going
so.
to do.
It's a big deal, I think.
Right? Sweet. All right. From Behind the Wrenches, this is Zach with Zach and Randy. I'm Zach.
I'm ready.
And we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.